Two children emerged from a ditch in 1170s England speaking no known language, their skin stained green, and no one ever figured out where they came from. Suffolk, England, sometime in the 1170s. The exact year isn't recorded, which is the first problem. A group of harvesters working in the fields near the village of Woolpit found two children in a wolf pit, a trap dug to catch predators. The boy and girl were alone, they were crying, neither spoke English nor Latin nor French, and their skin was green. The harvesters brought them to the nearby village. No one claimed them. No search parties arrived looking for missing children. The siblings, a brother and sister, were taken in by a local landowner named Sir Richard de Calney. He fed them, he gave them a home, and he waited for someone to explain what they were. For weeks the children ate nothing but beans. That was all they would consume. They'd reject meat, bread, anything else put in front of them. Eventually they began eating other foods. Their green skin started to fade. Over time they looked like any other English child, but they never quite lost the strangeness. The girl learned English, the boy did not or wouldn't. She began to speak about where she came from. Her account was consistent. She described a land without sun, a land of perpetual twilight. She said there was a river dividing that place from hers. She said they'd crossed it and gotten lost. She called her homeland the land of St. Martin. That detail matters. Medieval chroniclers, the people who wrote this story down, they seized on it. St. Martin was a saint. She was claiming a Christian place, not a fairy realm, not hell. A place with religion, structure, order. A place that sounded almost real. Here's what the chroniclers didn't ask her, or if they did, it wasn't recorded. Where exactly was this river? How long did it take to cross? What did the architecture look like? What language did people speak there? The girl's testimony stops where it gets useful. It stops where a real investigation would begin. The boy never spoke, not in English, not in any language anyone recognized. He lived in Sir Richard's household. He worked, he ate, he existed in the village for years. Then one day he was gone, no record of what happened to him. He vanished as mysteriously as he'd arrived. The girl stayed longer. She was baptized. She was given a Christian name. She eventually married a man from the village, a man named Richard Barr. She had a normal life. She had a family. And then she too passed from the record. No one knows when she died or where she was buried. The story survived because a monk named Ralph of Coggeshall wrote it down around the year 1200. Ralph wasn't there. He was collecting tales. He heard this one and decided it was worth preserving. He didn't interrogate it. He didn't try to solve it. He simply recorded what people said and moved on. Since then, historians have offered theories. Some say the children were victims of a birth defect causing copper-colored skin, possibly from malnutrition or disease. Chloroses, it's been called a condition that can give skin a greenish tint. That's plausible. It's also unfalsifiable. We have no bones, no DNA, no medical records. Other scholars suggest they were from a foreign community living in isolation, perhaps Flemish settlers or a heretical sect. They spoke a language no one recognized because it wasn't English or Norman French. They looked strange because they were malnourished. They were lost children, found and absorbed into village life. A third interpretation has gained ground in recent decades. The girl's descriptions, the twilight realm, the river, the Christian saint, these sound like folklore, like a myth told by someone trying to explain something she couldn't. Maybe she and her brother were simply lost. Maybe their minds created a narrative to fill the void. But here's the problem with all these theories. None of them explains everything. The green skin doesn't fit neatly with malnutrition. The unknown language doesn't fit with known Flemish or heretical dialects. The girl's consistent, detailed testimony doesn't fit with pure invention. Each explanation solves part of the puzzle and abandons the rest. The real mystery isn't what the green children were. It's what questions medieval people didn't think to ask. No one recorded their names. No one asked where they came from before the pit. No one documented their appearance in detail or tried to preserve their language. They were curiosities first, people second. Ralph of Coggeshall's account is the only source we have. He wasn't an eyewitness. His account was written 30 years after the events. No corroborating documents exist. No other chronicler mentions the story. For a century it might have been forgotten entirely. Then it was rediscovered. Then it became legend. Today the Green Children of Woolpit remain unsolved, not because the answer is unknowable, but because the people who might have known it, the children themselves, Sir Richard de Calney, the villagers who found them, they are all gone. Their knowledge died with them. We're left with fragments, rumors, one monk's brief account written decades later. It's a reminder that history isn't solved. It's constructed from scraps, from what people thought to write down, from what survived fire and water and time. The Green Children's true story, their names, their origin, what really happened in that pit, it's lost. And it'll stay lost. Subscribe for more unsolved medieval mysteries and historical enigmas that refuse easy answers.